Are you sitting comfortably? I am. Then we'll begin. You treat it like if you leave it unattended, it is going to kill your family. Treat it like that, you will have no problems. Plug it in your garage overnight, you could be a very, very unhappy family. Today's video, what time is it? I have no watch on. Time doesn't really matter to you when you're retired anymore. Oh, it's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock on Wednesday the 11th. I was just sat here before and a couple of things went through Twitter and somehow this chap keeps getting suggested. I can only assume that Twitter hates me or wants me not to relax. The thread that came up was Colin Walker, my friend from the Climate Intelligence Unit. And the tweet was, it was done on June the 10th, Chinese EVs tipped to have one major impact on UK drivers. No doubt Chinese EVs will become major players in the UK, but for context, currently only one Chinese brand in top 10 for UK EV sales, BYD in 10th. Chinese EVs not yet the cheapest on offer. Now, as I've mentioned before, the Chinese, especially BYD, seem to get a lot of mentions in the UK motoring press. Actually, let me just see if I can find something else. Right, BYD takes dozens of influencers to court, claiming defamation report. The company sued 37 influencers and put another 126 on a watch list for disseminating what it deems as damaging content. BYD has reportedly sued 37 influencers in China, claiming they have made defamatory comments. The manufacturers, well, I love BYD. You know, I've always said I've not got a bad word to say against them. The manufacturer has a news anti-fraud department where people can send tips about possible defamation and get rewards. Well, I tell you what, they're not going to find a bigger bunch of collaborators than the EV crowd. So get writing, get claiming your reward, because I still think the reporting in the UK stinks. Companies suing influencers. Companies suing influencers for potentially damaging their image is far more common in China than it is in the West. The relationship between automakers and the people who create content with their vehicles can sometimes be tense. However, it seldom results in legal action taken against them, and requests to change or remove content are usually about as extreme as it gets. But not if you're covering the world's fastest growing automaker. Over the last few years, BYD, which is reportedly taking 37 influencers to court over things they said that it deems defamatory. Car News China says BYD has also added 126 content creators to an internal watch list, and they will be monitored in the future, potentially also facing legal action from the automaker if they say something that the company sees as damaging to its image. The car maker created a news anti-fraud office a few years ago, and it's encouraging people to send tips about potentially damaging content. OVs. If you're going to report me, OVs. I've got no money anyway, so it's not like they're going to get anything. To encourage tip-offs about potential smear campaigns, BYD is offering substantial bonuses. Bribes. Oh, not bribes, bonuses. Bonuses. 50,000 to 5 million yuan. $6,900 to $690,000 for credible leads. The source lists several examples of why BYD sued influencers. In one instance, a person accused the company of manipulating content creators to say negative things about rival brands. Well, I've not said that. The court concluded that the influencer was required to make a public apology and pay a fine of 100,000 yuan, around £13,800. Another influencer was fined after making claims that BYD was financially unstable and on the verge of bankruptcy. All of these fines pale in comparison to the August 2023 lawsuit launched by Nissan Dongfeng. I hope it's not. I hope they didn't fine him for making fun of the name or mispronouncing it, because, again, against an influencer who had posted over 50 videos on TikTok denigrating the automaker's vehicle, he was asked to pay 5 million yuan in reparations to the manufacturer in 2022. Tesla also took a Chinese influencer to court, demanding 5 million yuan in reparations, but eventually settled for a lot less. Well, I mean, to be fair, they won, but what was that other one before? The source lists several examples of why BYD sued influencers. In one instance, a person accused the company of manipulating content creators to say negative things about rival brands. Well, that you know, nobody'd do that, because that would be a terrible thing to do. Aside from BYD, Nissan Dongfeng and Tesla, Great Wall Motor and Chang'an Automobile have also sued influencers. So it's pretty clear that the practice is much more common in China than it is in the West. The most well-known automaker versus media lawsuit from this hemisphere is Tesla versus Top Gear, after host Jeremy Clarkson made exaggerated claims about the original Roadster back in 2008. The court ultimately dismissed the case because it couldn't prove ill intent on Top Gear's side. So you have to be very careful what you say. I wouldn't intentionally lie anyway. It's just not in my DNA. So we'll go here to Colin Walker again. EVs tipped to have one major impact. We'll go to the story. We'll click on the story. The story is here. Express. Chinese electric cars tipped to have one major impact on UK drivers. Oh, this is June the 7th. What is it that they're going to have? What impact are they going to have? Exclusive. New Chinese electric cars are set to cause a stir in the UK, but consumers could be set to benefit from lower prices and more demand. Well, we know they've cut the prices. Let me see. Where's the story come from? Britain could become one of the biggest markets for Chinese electric vehicles, even beating the USA and European Union, according to experts at Auto Trader. The UK is relatively more attractive as a market for Chinese electric car brands, which could have a major impact on consumers. The online car marketplace has admitted the UK second-hand car market could undergo a transformative impact. They've admitted it. They've admitted it. That's a strange choice of words, isn't it? They have predicted British drivers may soon enjoy mass electric adoption when cheap models flood the market. The UK has used its Brexit freedom to slap no additional tariffs on Chinese companies selling electric cars in the UK, in stark contrast to the USA and EU. So basically what they're saying is the powers that be that want this ZEV mandate are prepared to ruin everybody in the motor trade in order to get it. Like the Climate Intelligence Unit here, they're pushing this ZEV mandate, saying it's working. It's not, it's killing the motor trade. Anybody with any anybody with any intelligence can see it's ruining the motor trade. It's ruining residual prices, not only on EVs, but on ICE cars too. Garages are going out of business. They're not making any money. Manufacturers closing plants down. Big knock-on effect all over the place. And we're importing these cars from China, where to get clean air here from a place where 2 million people a year die of poor air quality. Seems a little bit hypocritical to me. If you don't mind me saying, you know, it seems a little bit short-sighted. And then they get the produce, they get the components from the Congo, where there's child labour, there's women stood in basically pools of sulfuric acid separating the minerals, there's cave-ins, there's disease. They all carried on working during COVID, hence down the mine everybody's getting COVID, as I understand it. So here we go. So this is what Auto Trader say. It means Chinese models sold in Britain are likely to be cheaper than many traditional Western brands, which could turn eyeballs. Which could turn eyeballs? Which could turn eyeballs? Which artificial intelligence shit has written this article? Raise eyebrows? Oh God, look who it is. Ian Plummer, Commercial Director of Auto Trader, told the Daily Express Chinese electric vehicles are cutting-edge products backed by affordable battery technology, because he knows. He's Commercial Director of Auto Trader, but he knows all about electric vehicles and the production and the price of battery technology. He knows all about that. These, along with the other affordable new electric cars that have just launched, will have a transformative impact on mass electric adoption in the UK. Trade turbulence with the US and EU tariffs are also making the UK relatively more attractive as a market, and so we are likely to benefit from exceptional choice from the now 70 brands available. Well, just one second. So there's 70 brands available, because I could have sworn there was a lot more than that. How many Chinese EV brands have gone out of business? Oh dear. Oh. No, it's 2018. No, let me just go back and see what that says. Trade turbulence with the US and EU tariffs are also making the UK relatively more attractive as a market, and so we are likely to benefit from exceptional choice from the now 70 brands available. I mean, I know you have to. One second, I just need to. There we go. Just need to get that going again. You know, while I'm doing this, I know these EV people think I sit in my cupboard wasting my time, but it's quite therapeutic really, because I do this. Now, FlexiSpot have sent me this desk, and Medica Relax and Fuji Iroki have sent me this massage chair. I can work here and get a massage at the same time. Life don't get any better. Since 2018, around 400 Chinese EV companies have ceased operations, leaving a highly concentrated market with only a few dominant players by 2030. Notable Chinese EV brands that have shut down: Bitten filed for bankruptcy 2021, Zotti 2021, Dawson 2020, Innovate 2024, Changjiang EV, Yangtze Motors 2020, Kiantu Motors. Anyway, you can see all those. So they've all gone. So there's 90. Was it 90? I fucking keep forgetting. 70. So there's 70 brands, but 400 have already gone out of business since 2018. So it's no biggie, is it, really? Yeah. It's nothing which would turn your eyeballs, is it? In Chat GPT. So that's that. So basically, Colin has just retweeted an advert from Auto Trader for Chinese EVs. Again, your guess is as good as mine why they seem to mention Chinese EVs at every opportunity. Every time you open a paper, a magazine, Auto Trader are blowing sunshine up the Chinese EV maker's arse. I don't get it. But that's not just the point of today's story. Electric car sales soar as UK sees clear shift in the market, with drivers ditching petrol and diesel. But this caught my eye as well. Think electric cars are expensive. My new EV cost me less than a couple of posh coffees a day. Nice piece from Steve Fowler on how cheap EVs can be to own and run. You'll notice Steve's covered his number plate up, which they all do, because when you value the cars and you see how much they dropped last month, it's just, you could buy a Starbucks, let alone a couple of cups of posh coffee. Well, let's just see what does Steve do. Car and tech geek, apparently just a fat Piers Morgan, freelance EV editor, at independent, former editor of Auto Express and Autocar What Car. So, you know, all good there. Steve's not going to be biased at all. EV sales in the UK up 28% in May 2025. The only thing is, EV sales have to be at 28% for the ZEV mandate, and they ain't. They're languishing about 20, I think, and that's with a load of pre-registered vehicles. Oh, they don't pre-register EVs. There's another one come on the market today, a 2023 73 Mazda. It's done 14 miles. It's had 2 owners. Now you see, Carl here has reposted a guy called Tom Callow, Automotive Tom. Now Tom actually has an EV consultancy firm now, I think. He used to work for AM Online, posting a few stories. He's extremely biased towards EVs, in my opinion. But here we go. This is the story. We'll click this, because this is also from Kate, Florence and James from Cleveley Autos. And here we go. Tom Callow, 91% state of health on the HV battery after almost 250,000 miles. Battery replacement due to degradation is almost turning out to be a myth. Well, yes, because the batteries go before they degrade. They go completely. On some of them, I'll give you that, on some of them. But for every one of these you can find, right, for instance, this has done 250,000 miles. These pesky, here you go. So the story from Kate, Florence and James, Kate Phantom. Kate loves me.